Good morning, Japan, and welcome to today's Alp Du Zwift live stream challenge. Today is going to be my third attempt going up Alp Du Zwift, and we're going to be hitting up the wheel roulette, see what prize we get. So join along on today's ride. Welcome everybody. And for anyone who's new to these live streams, Zwift is a virtual online platform for cycling, so I'm actually riding indoors today. I'm on my spin bike. I'll be making a video very soon, probably next week or so, talking about my current setup, what this game is, and what I've been using it for. So it's pretty interesting for anyone who is new to this kind of stuff, so I'll be talking more about this then. And feel free to join in, ask any questions along the chat. We'll be riding for over an hour, so welcome everybody. And thanks Bradshaw, thanks for the super chat, welcome back. Hey Ron, welcome over. Hey John, hey Shez, lots of the regular crew in today. Thanks for joining in. My shoe's still a little bit loose. I just woke up like 30 minutes ago or so, so it was a rush to get on here, get the live stream set up and everything. That's how my hair is. I've still got my bed head going on. Morning everyone, and good evening for all of you guys who are joining very late. And sorry again to everyone in Europe, I know this time zone is horrible for you guys. I did try doing a live stream the other day, and it was a good time for Europe, but the Wi-Fi connection was just so bad here. I live in an apartment here in Japan, and everyone gets home from work and just starts using the internet, so the Wi-Fi connection just gets really slow. It's not fast enough to do any live streams, unfortunately, but maybe I'll have to get up extra early for you guys one day and do a super early live stream ride. So I'll probably do that one day. So let's start getting into the chat. JRK, the downhill ride video posted this morning looks scary with sections of track missing. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting road because it's really not that technical in most parts, but there are some dangerous sections if you're not being careful. There's a lot of big boulders, a lot of slippery rocks, and it was a really fun route. It's actually one of my favorite courses here. I've trained there a lot the last few years. I've done it countless times, but it was really exciting to see Tron ride there for the first time. I've been really excited to show it to her for a long time. And from John, these are always fun to watch. I need to get on here. Yeah, man, Zwift is awesome. It's not that expensive. It's only like, what, $15 a month for subscription. And they've got a lot of different courses you can ride on. It's really entertaining. It's a good way to stay motivated to keep riding. From Red Rhino, would you explain the road markings and what they mean? Which road markings are you talking about? Are you talking about in this game or on one of our recent videos? Thanks again, Bradshaw. Thanks again for the other super chat. Appreciate it. Helps motivate me to get up early for these live streams. From Trisha, Ohayo gozaimasu. That means good morning in Japanese. That's our Japanese lesson for today. Simple Japanese. And from JH, I've always wondered how people can train early in the morning, straight from bed. horrid to me. It's actually pretty normal for me now because, as many of you guys know, I've been a regular bike commuter for most of the last full year, every day. 40 kilometers, 26 miles round trip every day, and I basically found it was best for me to just get on my bike and go. Wake up, get on my bike and go. Because if I wake up and I eat breakfast and then I try and get on my bike, I feel a little bit sluggish, so I feel better just wake up, get on the bike, get the ride over with, and then eat after, and it feels really good. It tastes really good. Eating tastes a lot better after a workout than before a workout, so that's the way I see it. And I'm not sure, we're not going that hard right now, but maybe we'll pick up the pace towards the end of today's ride, so we'll get a little bit of a workout in. And thanks again, Bradshaw. What was your comment, by the way? What do you mean 28,500K? We've actually passed 30,000 subscribers on the channel lately, so big celebration this last week. Pretty exciting milestone. We did a spontaneous 30,000 subs live stream the other day, so sorry if you guys missed it. I didn't announce it. It was a little bit later in the day, and I actually took it down from public view just because the connection wasn't that great. It wasn't that great to rewatch. Thanks, Jojo. Yeah, super proud of Tuang on the mountain bike rides. From Shez, lots of coffee. That's how I do time trials. Yeah, coffee can help a lot in the morning. I actually don't do anything. I just got my water. Actually, that's a lie. I did have a quick drink of some fruit juice, fruit vegetable juice, just to get a few calories in. And from Westo, do you have any Zwift workout programs recommended for a beginner? I'm not sure what to focus on, but I'm interested in lowering my resting heart rate. I'm not sure about the training programs right now. I haven't really looked into them in the last few months, to be honest, so I sort of forgot what I used to use. I'm going to be looking into that more in the near future, so I'll try and figure that out. But if your goal is to reduce your resting heart rate, I would say that just keep riding base miles. And there might be some more specific training zones, power zones, heart rate zones that you want to focus on. I'm not an expert on that stuff right now, so I'll have to look and see what training programs are available in Zwift to see which one is best. So sorry, I can't give a good answer right now. From Red Rhino, when you ride to work, there's a lot of different signs I see on the path. I film a lot of commute videos, so it's hard for me to talk about every single one in every single video, but maybe that'll be a good idea for a separate video. I can just talk about all the different road signs that you see in Japan. That might be interesting. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that kind of video. From Masaudi, which one should I get? A BMC road machine or T-machine? I'm new to cycling. I would say, unless you're strictly focusing on road racing, go with the road machine. The road machine is going to let you ride everywhere. You're going to be a lot more comfortable, and it's still a super fast bike. That's my personal preference though, but if you want a pure road bike, go with the T-machine. They're both great bikes. Yeah, sorry, Red Rhino. There's too many different signs. I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but I think I'll make a video in the near future talking about different signs that you'll see in Japan when you're cycling here or riding here. Hey, morning, Tunchan. Tunchan finally woke up. Join the chat. Thanks again, Bradshaw. I just biked 28,500 today. or 2,800. 28,500. I hope you mean, is that miles, kilometers? 28, I'm guessing. Nice job, good ride. I think this ride we're doing, it's mostly a climb, so it's pretty short, but in total I think this ride will be only about 30 kilometers here in the virtual Zwift land. And welcome next from Cameron. Hey Cruz, hope you and Chung are keeping safe. Thanks man, we're mostly staying in the apartment, staying safe, so we're not getting in any trouble. We're not going outside unless we absolutely need to, and trying to just reduce any possible contact just to be extra safe. From next, I don't know if this has been asked, but is there first person view in Zwift? And yes, I think you control this on the keyboard as well, but I'm not sure of the keyboard shortcuts, so there's actually an assistance app. So I'll pull that up right now. You can see this is the Zwift companion app, and it'll load up your data from your ride. And then from here, you can change the camera view. Let's do that real quick. So here are some of the angles. This is the default angle we're on right now. This is a lower behind angle if you want to get those booty shots. And a nice front side angle. And the cool thing is you actually have to have some sort of photography sense, because the direction of the sun can really impact the shadows, the brightness of the image. So it's pretty cool. You have to be a little bit creative when you try and get some nice shots. Oh, this is cool. We're passing some beautiful sunflower garden kind of area. And this is a rear view, rear camera view. And this is the front view. So yeah, if you want to get a full immersion kind of experience, you can put this on a big screen in front of you and it'll feel just like you're riding. I've seen some people like use a projector and they'll project their whole wall like this, so you get a real nice immersion experience there. And then here we are back to our normal default viewing angle. So we're holding about 170 watts right now. This is pretty comfortable. And from Thelonious, yeah, regarding the colors of the roads here, there are often red lanes, there's often blue lanes. I'm not sure if there's a specific meaning to each color specifically. Usually there is different things written on them, so it's not always the same, but I feel like red color generally indicates a sort of caution, and blue generally indicates some sort of turn, maybe like a left turn or something. So I think red lanes are more, or I guess if there's a curb or a big curve coming up, it really depends. There's a lot of different situations I see them in, so it depends on what characters are written on the ground. And those characters are always written in Japanese only, but the top signs above the street are usually written in both English and Japanese. So I know a lot of foreigners here that like drive their cars and no problem, because most signs have English and Japanese. But there are some sections that will only have Japanese. So you might have to memorize some certain basic sign characters. from Bradshaw. Kilometers. Okay. 28,500 kilometers. That is a pretty long distance there. From Sabino Cruz, are you going to be working for a bike company also in Vietnam? No, we don't have anything lined up right now. I do hope to maybe partner with some sort of bike company over there, not from like a full-time basis, but maybe find some sort of like partner company to work with on a more freelance contract kind of basis. So we'll see if we can develop any sort of partnerships or anything over there. But at this point, there's nothing in the works. There's no specific company in mind, but I don't plan to work full-time for a bike company over there, but rather focus more on developing our own kind of thing and developing our own kind of like maybe bike touring or bike shop B&B kind of training facility. So it'll be kind of a mix. I'll keep you guys updated on the plans as those things develop, but right now we're kind of in a freeze. We can't really do anything. We can't really make any plans because we don't know when I'll be able to enter Vietnam. It's still shut down to foreigners, and it's actually pretty safe over there right now because they've just shut down everything. So they've really limited the spread of the virus really early on, and they're not letting anyone else in. So it's actually one of the more safe places to be right now. Ironically, in Japan, they're not really doing anything, and the cases just keep spreading. Things haven't gotten that bad here yet, but still the inaction is really unsettling. So unfortunately, we're just stuck here, doing what we can, trying to prepare, trying to build up our different online businesses and blogs and stuff. In the meantime, I'm actually working on some Japanese ebooks right now. I made a post on our Facebook page recently, but I also run a blog for teaching Japanese, and I've been focusing a lot of time on that lately. So if anybody is interested in learning Japanese, check out the website. It's jlptsensei.com. So most people who study Japanese know the JLPT is the Japanese Language Proficiency Test. It's the standardized test to prove your Japanese ability. And so we make some teaching materials for that. So if you're interested, go check it out. It's usually linked in most of our videos. From Red Rhino, did you finish all the donuts? I'm not sure what donuts you're talking about, but it's really hard to find a good donut here in Japan. From John, does your avatar go faster when you pedal faster? Yeah, the speed of your character will change developing on how much power you're putting out in the game. So you could be spinning really fast but not putting out any power. So in that case, your character wouldn't really move. But you could also be spinning very slowly but putting out insane power and move pretty fast. So it's all based on power. If you're connected with the power meter like I am. However, you can also connect to the game with just a speed meter, but those aren't always accurate because of the reason I just mentioned. I'm not sure, I don't think the cadence is synced up. So you can see in the top left part of my screen, it shows my cadence, it shows my heart rate, it shows my power. But I'm not sure if the cadence itself is connected, so. But I'm pretty sure if you stop pedaling, your character will stop. And you'll see that at some point once we get to the top of the mountain here. I got some requests, so we'll be stopping at the top of the mountain. If anyone wants to join in for the descent, get some free kilometers. So we will be doing that today. Feel free to join in once we're up at the top. Good morning, Charlie. Oh, wow. Thanks, Dennis. Thanks, Dennis, for the super chat. And thanks, Sabino Cruz. Thanks to both of you guys. Appreciate it. We still got a long way to go. This course has 21 different sections. You can see in the left side of the screen, we're on section 20. So we still got a long way to go up this climb. And you can see the full course section up in the top right of the profile. So thanks, guys. So those are the donuts you're talking about. All right. Maybe in the future live stream, I'll get some donuts prepared for this kind of situation. That'll be a fun way to spice these live streams up. Mr. Donuts. Yeah, Mr. Donuts is, I think someone mentioned in the channel it originated in America or some foreign country, and then it was bought out by Japan. And so now Mr. Donuts is a Japanese company. It's all over in Japan. At our local station, they actually have two different Mr. Donuts. They have, they're basically side by side. You walk not even like 15 seconds, and you can get from the door of the one Mr. Donut store to the other Mr. Donut store. They're everywhere, and they're insanely popular. I haven't eaten there too many times, to be honest, but the few times I have, I've been slightly disappointed because they're a little bit lighter than what I'm used to as donuts. So we have our fatty, heavy American donuts. So compared to that, I tend to not enjoy them so much, but maybe I guess they're a little healthier than American donuts. From Red Rhino, the mountain bike video, you said no stopping for Taioki. You had donuts at home with your wife made. Ah, those are called goma dango, or sesame Chinese donuts. I think that's the correct English, but basically it's not really a donut by Western standards, but it's like an Asian donut, and it's a ball. It's got sesame seeds all around it, and inside it's got the red bean. So it's like the red bean bread, but it's fried, and it's also got some sesame seeds on the outside. It's really hard to explain, but for anyone who has tried it before, you'll definitely know what I'm talking about. But I'm pretty sure if you search like Chinese sesame red bean donut, it should come up. In Japanese, it's called goma dango, Goma space dango. Sometimes I know the Japanese name for something, but I don't always know the English name. But those were the donuts I was talking about. Those are really good. From Shez, Hobbit is sleeping, or else I would have joined you for tonight on Zwift. You got the Everest challenge for May. And he went to bed early. What time is it there? It's only like 8 o'clock Eastern time zone US right now. That is early, man. I think the earliest I can go to bed is like, if I'm lucky, 11:30. I generally go to bed a little bit too late now. It's a bad habit I'm trying to break. So, good for him, going to bed early. Cameron, Mr. Donut is way nicer than Krispy Kreme in Japan. I believe it. Thelonious, healthy donuts only in Japan. Yeah, definitely heavier or healthier than American standards, mainly because there's less calories, it's lighter. Japanese like their fua, which means like fluffy and light. It's considered like a good characteristic for them, because I guess most Japanese girls don't really want to gain weight, so they tend to act, I guess, satisfied just by eating these light fua foods. But for an American who's used to some heartier foods, it can be a little bit disappointing, I guess. Oh, yeah. from Cameron. Just Google sesame seed red bean balls. Yeah, basically. It sounds really bad, but the images you search should be pretty safe with that. From Bike Lanes, where is Tung? I think she's still in the bedroom, waking up, playing with her cell phone probably. Hopefully watching the live stream. While I'm here hard at work, she's sitting in bed. But I do want to get her on here one day, get her to try Zwift. We're sort of waiting because we got to get her some road shoes so she can use the power meters. She's only got her mountain bike shoes right now. But hopefully we'll be getting those shoes in the near future and get her on here to try out the game. Maybe get her to join for a live stream. It might be tricky because I'll have to translate everything, but I was thinking to do a live stream with her for her birthday coming up. It's her birthday in about 2 more weeks or so. So we might be doing a birthday live stream, and if so, we'll keep it a little bit short, but I'll announce that when we decide to do that. You guys can wish her a happy birthday directly. We unfortunately can't go to our usual annual birthday dinner outside, or I guess we can, but we don't want to take any risks, so we're just going to be eating at home and cooking at home, and I gotta work on my cooking skills. I should practice before just to make sure that we get everything ready for that day. So maybe I'll do that later today. I'll practice my cake baking skills. From John, 7:26 p.m. here in Illinois, and heading to bed at 8. That's good. Nice bedtime. I really got to improve my bedtime personally. You guys are Central Time, right? So yeah, that's 1 hour behind Eastern Time, which I'm used to. From Shay's, it's 8:30 right now. He gets up at 3:30 a.m. and has to be at work at 5. Oh wow. Alright, that makes sense for the early bedtime. That is a pretty tough work schedule. From Dania, hello Cruz. Finally managed to catch your live stream again. Welcome back. From Red Rhino, do only the major streets have names? I noticed on your rides there are no street signs with names. How do you find the address? This can be really tricky in Japan. The address isn't based off of the street name, but every place is divided in like blocks. So you got the city, and then within the city, there's different sections in the city. And then the sections in that city are divided into smaller blocks, and those blocks are given numbers. So basically you're given an address number block within each block in the city. So addresses here aren't based on road names, and sometimes it can be really hard to figure out what the road name is of a road. And I've been living here a long time and I still don't know most road names. But usually I'll just say like the city area or what's nearby, what kind of famous attraction. Like we live by a Denny's, is one of our close attractions. But I know the name of our road because we're on a main road. The main roads are a lot easier to know the names for. But yeah, addresses here are interesting. From John, I get up at 3:30 a.m. as well. Back at work at 5:30. Oh man, yeah, just skip the live stream. Go to bed, man. That's way too early. Smokey from India, love your videos. Thanks man for watching. We're about 20 minutes into the climb right now, and I'm not sure our pace today, but I imagine we'll be pretty close to 60 minutes, 1 hour. So about 1/3 of the way, and the hunger pains are starting to kick in. I'm going to be very hungry after this ride. Segment 15. Average power has increased. We're over 200 now. So the pace power seems to be gradually picking up. This section is really cool. Love this overpass with the mountain view. The graphics in this game are just really nice, really nicely done. From Smokey, it's nice to see you going outside without going outside. Yeah, this game has been a lifesaver during the lockdowns and during this whole situation. It's a great alternative. Of course, I'd much rather be outside riding, but this gives you peace of mind and you still get your workout in. You get some nice views. These live streams are fun too, because I get to chat with you guys and answer some questions I can't always address in a video. But it is getting hotter lately, and it's already hot enough cycling indoors in the winter months, so as it gets warmer outside, these indoor rides are going to be pretty tough. We'll have to be turning on the AC pretty soon here. From Brent, hello from Mount Fuji. Unknown Soul, welcome. Tunshan's practicing her English, so next time she'll be ready to try and answer some questions. A very special day. From Red Rhino, any bike camping videos in the future? We were planning to do some more bike camping stuff, but honestly, not sure. The situation would have to be a lot more settled down before we start considering that. But right now, we're trying to stay in a safe environment as much as we can and try and avoid unfamiliar environments just in case anything bad happens. So unfortunately, any bike packing will be postponed for now. Shez, up the water intake too when riding inside. That's a good point. That's why I need you guys watching me telling what I forget. I have a bad habit to not drink so much when I ride, both indoors and outdoors. But it's always a good idea to rehydrate yourself as much as possible. Especially when you're sweating like a maniac in here. Andrew, never enough fans. Yeah, I've got mine on pretty high mode right now, but if I go any higher than this, it'll get too loud for the microphone, and it still doesn't change that much anyway. From Unknown Soul, any time frame on when you all can leave Japan? No idea. It depends on when Vietnam reopens its borders. We're not sure how long this will be because Vietnam has the virus situation pretty much shut down. So it's unlikely they'll take people from countries that still have an infection problem. So we're not sure when we'll be able to go directly from Japan to Vietnam anyway. I'm hoping end of July, early August, maybe at the earliest is for what I'm thinking, but again, it's really hard to read this situation. It could be a lot longer. So it is very unnerving right now, not knowing what's going to happen and not knowing what we can do. Yeah, Chun-chan's looking forward to her birthday meal, her steak. From Bobby, thanks for the face reveal. I'm not sure what you're talking about. From Red Rhino, in the States, the bus has a bike rack on it, and you can take the bike on the bus. In Japan, no, I've never really seen any buses here that have a bike rack. Maybe some cities, some tourist locations maybe have them, but I've never seen them. But that is a thing in Vietnam. In Vietnam, you can easily bring your bike on the bus. They'll just throw it under the bus or on the rack or something. So yeah, Japan's really strict with bikes and bringing bikes on places. Like even if you put it in a bag, most buses won't accept bikes here, and trains are getting more strict with bikes. So I am looking forward to the freedom to be able to bring the bike around a little bit more freely. But at the same time, the train network in Vietnam is pretty bad, but they've got a lot of buses at least. From Smokey, thanks for the live stream. Thanks for joining. It's always fun to chat with you guys more directly while I'm in pain. From Sabino, you guys got all the good steak there. Yeah, Chun-chan knows where to find the good meat. She loves her steak, so we don't eat it too often, so we try and save it for more special occasions. And yeah, with her birthday coming up, doesn't get much more special than that. From Bobby, your last two videos you didn't show your face. Yeah, I've been doing more sort of POV style videos, so just with the chest mount, showing you guys where I'm going. So I don't really show my face in the camera very much in those videos. I didn't really think about that. From Andrew, banh mi is greater than steak. I'd have to agree with that. I'm a big sandwich guy, and the banh mi is the Vietnamese sandwich. Really good. I personally would rather have that than a steak, but I do like steak every once in a while. But nothing beats a good sandwich or banh mi. Alright, thanks for joining, John. Good night. From Smokey. This looks more difficult than actual cycling. Yeah, it can be. It depends on how hard you go. The thing is, you have the freedom to choose how hard you want to ride. But if you have a smart trainer, it actually adjusts the resistance based on the steepness of the climb. So with the smart trainers, you can't really escape. I'm on a spin bike, so I can control my resistance however I'd like. So if I wanted things to be a little bit easier, I could ride a little bit slower, and then this ride would take a lot longer to finish. From Shez, live chatting while doing Alp Du Zwift. You really want that Tron bike, don't you? Yeah, that is one of my goals. The elusive Tron bike. You get it from doing a whole bunch of climbing, so that's why I'm doing all these climbing courses. But also, there's the wheel roulette challenge. So I don't know, it's a fun part of this game. There's different things that you can unlock. It's like a normal game, and you want to try and unlock everything that you can. So I enjoy that element. It gives me something to work towards. And it's a little bit better than normal climbing. I can lower the gear anytime if I want to. From Red Rhino, I prefer the chest mount videos and longer rides. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I like making those more to myself. It's a lot more natural. I don't have to worry about what to cut and maybe leave something out that's a little bit more interesting that I normally wouldn't keep in the video. So I do like being able to include everything, and I feel like it gives a better, more immersion compared to a normal cut video. So it's easier for me from an editing perspective and from creating a story. I just keep the story as it is and it's full. So glad to hear you guys enjoy them. Unknown Soul, there are steak banh mi here in the States, I believe it. Leave it to foreign countries to take a local cheap food and turn it into a premium food back home and jack up the price. I'm sure it tastes really good though. From Sabino, all you need is some Vietnamese coffee for the extra boost. Yeah, I'm thinking, I'm not really much of a coffee drinker now, to be honest. I rarely drink it, but I do think I will start drinking it once I move to Vietnam. So I'm pretty excited to try it out. Maybe finally become a coffee person. I'm more of a tea guy right now though. But they've also got some good tea selection over there too, which I'm excited for. Oh, thanks Andrew. Thanks for the super chat. Cruise on. Hell yeah. I shouldn't say that. Heck yeah. Thanks, Aiton. Thanks for the super chat. Welcome. From Unknown Soul, any thoughts about the Super 6 Evo versus the Road Machine? I'm not too familiar with the current Super 6 Evo, so I can't really make any judgments right now, but I really like the Road Machine. I really like the more versatile sort of semi-gravel bike, semi-road bike. It gives you kind of the best of both worlds, so if you're doing a lot of adventure riding, but you still also want to ride pretty fast on the road, I really like that. But if you are going to be doing some pretty hardcore gravel riding, it's probably best to go with a more pure gravel bike. It all depends on what kind of riding you're doing, what your goals are, and what expectations you have from your bikes. So, but I really like the Road Machine. It's a really solid road bike that lets you put some wider tires on it, but maybe not to the extreme extent of a pure gravel bike, but you can still put some 32s on it and ride pretty comfortably. And it's a really fast bike, like, geez. From Bobby, I don't want you to move to Vietnam. I want you to move to Jacksonville, Florida, so I can see you every week. You can see us on YouTube. Honestly, I mean, no offense, but I've trained in Florida quite a bit. I don't think I could live there all year round. Like, yeah, the weather's nice, the oceans is nice, but I need my mountains. Florida's a little bit too flat for me. I think I'd go. I'm from a flat state, like Michigan is a flat state, so I'm used to living in a flat state. And now that I've lived in a more mountainous state, it's hard to go back. I love my mountains. I guess there's always Zwift. But yeah, Florida's really nice. I used to go there every winter for training. Always nice to escape the colder states in the winter. From Red Rhino, have you ever had any interaction with the police, good or bad, while riding? No, I've actually never been stopped by the police while riding my bike, which is pretty amazing because I used to ride pretty aggressively through the city pretty regularly, and still do sometimes, but they're rarely out there. And when you do see police, they're very easy to spot. They've got these giant sirens on top of the car, and they'll elevate them, and they'll just flash their lights, showing people that they're there. So they're very different than most like US police, which try and stay as hidden as possible and stay secret and follow you until you do something bad. The police here aren't like that, which is pretty great. So I've never had any negative interaction with the police, but I did have one sort of negative interaction at the airport. I was sitting there waiting for my airport bus back to my city, and I missed one of the stops, and there was a long break, so I had to wait there for like over an hour for the bus. And I was sitting on some benches in front of like one of the currency exchange places, and all of a sudden these security guards came over to me, and they started talking to me, asking me a bunch of questions like, who are you? What do you do? Why are you here? And I got really irritated. I was sort of smart talking back to them. I'm like, because I'm American, that's what we do. And I was like, why are you asking me this? Like, I'm just sitting here waiting for my bus. Like, can't you just leave me alone? Like, you're not asking other Japanese people who are sitting here. This is obviously profiling. And they weren't too happy with me. I don't think they tried talking to me in English at first, and their English wasn't very good. And I had a way better command of Japanese than they had of English. I think I caught them off guard, and they were pretty embarrassed, and they eventually left me alone. But that was my only negative experience, and it was over really quick, but still it really irritated me. And I know this is a really small situation compared to what other people go through, but that's about it as far as negative experiences for me. From Sabino, tell Tunch on her channel. It's pretty awesome. Thanks. She's working really hard on it. It is a little bit hard to get momentum because we don't have any strong keywords here. So no one searches for like walking in Nagoya, but she's enjoying the process, learning to make new style of videos, and yeah, it's really fun. I watch the videos myself sometimes when I'm working. It's just good background music, natural sounds, and it's also excited to keep it as kind of like a diary or journal of where we've been. So it'll be very exciting to look back on those videos without like us entering the video, just show the natural scenery of where we were and where we lived and stuff. So very excited to keep it from that sense. as like a diary of our travels. From Unknown Soul. Was thinking about getting them for my birthday, but the road machine's on sale. If you don't have a strong preference, yeah, go for the one that you get a better deal on. They're both great bikes. So if you could, I would test them out, make sure the fit is good. If you don't have any preference beyond that, then yeah, maybe go for which one has the better value, the better deal you can get. Sweat Mountain. That's how I should title these videos. It's pretty ironic. You see all the snow, but I'm just sweating over here. Whew. From Trisha in Anime, they make it seem like the police is always out to get you. Yeah, not in my experience. I never really see the police here. Thanks, Mark. Welcome. Thanks for the super chat. From Red Rhino, has your wife seen other YouTubers who do the walking videos such as I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but Rambalak or Nippon Wandering? Yeah, we've been researching some different similar channels to try and figure out what kind of channel that she should make. And we, like Nippon Wandering and Rambalak, are both Japan-based walking channels. They both do a really good job. So we've gotten some ideas from what kind of videos are good, what would be cool to make. But we're also looking at other channels as well, because we are going to be traveling a lot outside of Japan in the near future. So for now, we're focusing on more of a broad idea of videos. So obviously walking videos in Japan, walking videos in Vietnam, but maybe some similar like drone videos and different experience videos. So like, for example, taking a certain kind of train and just showing that first-person experience. So we're going to experiment with a lot of different style videos. We're not sure exactly which direction she wants to go in the channel yet, but it does depend on what's realistic, like what kind of videos can we make realistically while we're traveling, and what kind of videos would be what people are interested in. So if you have any feedback, be sure to leave a comment on our channel. Let us know what kind of videos you'd like to see more of. And yeah, if you can, help share it. I really appreciate it. It's still a small channel. But yeah, we're excited, and we're thinking of different ways to take the channel. And we're looking at a lot of different similar channels for inspiration to figure out what we want to do. But it's pretty new to us. We're not used to these kinds of videos. So it's a fun learning process anyway. From Thelonious, how are you getting along with your hair during COVID? Are you due for a haircut soon? Will Toon cut it? Actually, yeah, she cuts my hair most of the time, or usually I cut it myself to a certain extent, and then she'll like fix the parts that I couldn't reach. So actually for the last few years, I've always cut my hair myself, and I usually would only cut my hair like once or twice a year. I usually just let it grow out, and then once it gets really long, we'll cut it. So this is pretty normal for me to go a long time without cutting my hair. If you look back on our older videos, you'll see maybe through the thumbnails that my hair gradually gets longer, and then gets really short, and then longer, and then really short. So honestly, it hasn't affected us too much. We never go out for haircuts, and we're trying to wait until we go to Vietnam to get our haircut anyway, because getting our haircut in Vietnam is super cheap, but in Japan it's still pretty expensive. So we're trying to hold out until we go to Vietnam to go anywhere to get our haircuts, but we may cut it in our apartment. I'm not sure if it would make a great video on this channel though. Actually, there's a fun video, an older video on the channel, where I got my haircut at a Vietnamese barber shop in her hometown, and then we did some mountain biking. So I think if you search like on the channel on Tua Cruise, like Vietnamese barber mountain bike cycling Vietnam, that video should come up. It's a really old one, but it's a pretty funny one. From Rick, nice to see you on Zwift. Thanks for joining. From Mark, did you manage to sell off some of your bikes? No, we haven't sold anything yet, partly because I haven't really listed any official information yet, because I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be here. So I don't want to sell like my mountain bike, for example, and then not be able to use it for the 3 months we're stuck here. I'd rather be able to keep riding the bikes that we have, so I'm trying to wait until the last possible minute to sell them, especially if I'm going to be selling a lot of them at kind of a loss. I'd rather enjoy them a little bit more while I can before selling them, if that makes sense. From Thelonious, I cut my own hair last week for the first time since I was maybe 6 years old. It's a good practice to do. You can save a lot of money, and it's not difficult to learn. It's generally pretty easy to cut your own hair, especially if you're a guy. You just need a friend that you can trust to make the final touch-ups. But yeah, you save a bit of money. It's a fun process. I've been doing it that way for a long time. From Shabadadu, これはゲームですか? 面白そう. Yeah, he's asking if this is a game. So a lot of Japanese words are based on English words, so game is the same as game. The pronunciation changes a little bit. And 面白そう means 面白い is interesting. So means like it seems. So saying it seems interesting. Yeah, and Thelonious, I saw your haircut with Victor. That was a while back, over a year ago. Victor also, he runs a ASMR kind of haircut style channel here. He didn't always do that, but he switched to that recently, and he invited me to get a haircut at a Japanese barber. That was actually the only time I ever got my haircut by a barber here in Japan, so you can check out his video on his ASMR channel. I forgot about that. That was a while back. Actually, maybe that was almost 2 years ago now. It's a good memory. From Red Rhino, how do you know where to park your bike in Japan? I know if you leave it somewhere you shouldn't, you'll get a ticket. Generally, it's pretty obvious where you should and where you shouldn't park your bike. But at the same time, a lot of people will park their bike in places you shouldn't park your bike. So there's a lot of gray zone here, and I don't really want to give bad advice, but generally, even if you park in an illegal spot, you'll just get a warning for the first 24 hours. So generally you can get away with it, but if you keep repeating, maybe they'll recognize your bike and then ticket you. So I wouldn't repeat it, but they're not so strict with the illegal parking here. You'll get a warning generally. Some places it can be a little tricky to understand because the signs will be in kanji. So if you don't read Japanese, it can be really hard to tell. But generally, if you're by like a big station, they try and force the paid parking on you. So I always try and find a secret spot where I don't have to pay. And as long as you're out of the way, you're not interrupting anyone or anything, and generally you shouldn't get any problems, but you need a certain eye to figure out where these spots are. But I don't want to make a video giving out this kind of bad advice. From Sabino, would you rather keep your road or mountain bike? It's a tough question. It really depends on where I'm riding. For where I live in Japan now, I'd rather have the road bike, honestly, just because there's a lot better road riding here than mountain biking. The mountain bike trail we went on recently there's not many places like that, and they're really far apart, so I really love mountain biking. If there was more mountain bike trails around here, I would definitely pick the mountain bike, but for Japan, road bike is generally the best way to go. But in Vietnam, it sounds like there's a lot more dirt roads, so maybe mountain bike might be the better way, or a gravel bike at least. From JRK, I remember the video when you got a haircut in Vietnam. That's awesome. That's a really old video, so I'm surprised some people know about it. From THG, I'd rather be indoor riding. It's a jungle outside. There's definitely some truth to that. Definitely a lot safer riding inside. From JH, to go to bed or check out sunrise. 4 a.m. here in Finland. Pretty cold. -1°C. If you've already made it that far, you might as well stay the rest of the way for the sunrise. Get a nice view. From Rick, weather's still chilly here. Zwift is a godsend the last 3 years. Yeah, it's been really exciting to see this game develop over the last few years and everything that's become possible. Being able to do these rides inside, and normally I just would like watch a movie or something and spin inside, and it's pretty boring, but this adds definitely another exciting element and some other motivation, like the bonus wheel at the top of this mountain. So yeah, I really love the game. Definitely a positive impact on cycling, especially this time of year with everything going on now. From Kaz, I just discovered your channel. I bought my first hybrid bike and plan on commuting to work once the shelter in place ends. That's awesome. Enjoy the new bike. From Kevin, would you recommend a bike tour company or just riding solo for a future Japan trip? Since I don't speak Japanese, wondering which way you would recommend. I go both ways with this. Sometimes I think it's more exciting and more adventurous to just sort of wing a trip and see how it goes, but at the same time, that's partly because I try and save as much money as possible. But if money isn't so much a concern to you, and you want to maximize your experience there, I would say definitely go with the tour, because they're going to be able to show you things that you normally wouldn't be able to find yourself and explain things to you that you normally wouldn't be able to understand. So there's a lot of value in these tour companies. And so yeah, if you don't have that many opportunities to go to Japan and cycle there, I would say maximize the trip as much as possible and try find a reasonable touring company. They can be pretty pricey, but I think the value they provide is really good. And I definitely should be giving this answer because we're also planning on building our own bike touring company in Vietnam. So I definitely think there is some value that they have, but I don't think they're necessary for everyone. From Rick, I was lucky, I got the wheels on my third time up. This is my third time, so crossing my fingers that he'll be getting them today. Still a little bit of ways to go. We're a little bit slower than last time, 55 minutes, almost at station 4. From Marisa, I'm from New York City, and safer to ride your bike than take the subway, especially now. Definitely, I've been seeing a lot of data that shows that more people are switching to bike commuting rather than taking like public transportation, which is really cool to see. There's also a lot more bike lanes or roads designated to being cycling roads, which is awesome. So could be a good opportunity for bike commuters and for cycling infrastructure to get better. From Trisha, yeah, I used a tour on our first trip. They showed me Tokyo and the city biking etiquette. Second time, you don't need it. That's another good point. If it's your first time, it's probably a better idea, but they can definitely give you a lot of value that you can use on a future trip on your own. So, didn't think about it from that way. From JH, seeing you cycling in that city between cars, how many kilometers do you need to go before you're out of the empty roads, or before you're out into the empty roads? Seems like an endless concrete jungle. Actually, I made a video about this. Our last two recent POV style videos, the one to the abandoned train station and the one to the climbing day, these are two of the routes outside of the city. The city video was a ride from the city. So definitely once you're in the city, it's really hard to escape, but we live on the edge of the city, so generally about 30 minutes north or east, we can get into the countryside. But anything west and south is gonna be a pretty busy city for where we live anyway. From Cameron, what sort of bike tour business are you planning, Cruz? General local tourism based or sort of bigger Vietnam bike packing tour service? We're not sure. It depends on what demand there is, so we're gonna feel it out and see what people are interested in and try and build a service that caters to the demand that we can find. So ideally it would be a mix of both, so maybe some local tourism rides and definitely some longer, more training camps kind of supported with a follow vehicle kind of touring would be cool, I think. So a mix of both, I think. Again, it's really hard to plan right now. We still need to go over there and scope out some different routes, some different people we can partner with, and our base location. So there's a lot for us to still consider, but we're looking at a lot of different options and very exciting to think about. From Trisha, are you caught up with the Yowamushi Pedal manga? The fandom here in the States is dead. I don't read the manga for that one. I'm strictly just following the anime, so I'm only up to date in the most recent anime season. And it's been a while since they've updated that, so I think that might be hurting its growth. It's still pretty popular here in Japan, but a lot of time has passed now, unfortunately. But a lot of people know what it is, especially like anime fans. Even non-cycling people will know Yowamushi Pedal, which has surprised me. I've had some friends who, they're not athletic at all, but they love Yowamushi Pedal. The jokes, I guess, really connect with some regular Japanese people, and the character development is really nice. Oh, I'm getting really hungry. Skipping breakfast for these rides is not a good idea. Past aid station 3, just a little bit more to go. Hey Johnny D, just in time. What's that quote from? Like, someone is never late, he always arrives precisely when he intends to. I think it's Gandalf, right? Lord of the Rings. A wizard is never late, he arrives exactly when he intended to, or something like that. It's actually pretty funny. Speaking of Yowamushi Pedal, the anime, back when I raced collegiate cycling in my graduate school years, I raced for Lindenwood University out of St. Louis area, and they have a whole like varsity cycling team program, so we would travel in like charter buses, and basically we traveled kind of like a pro team, and it's really cool. But we had a group of people on the team who were like anime nerds, and it was a few select people, and we all loved Yowamushi Pedal, so we would sometimes watch like the anime on our laptops on our bus rides to the races, and a lot of the other team members would look at us like we were really weird, like, you guys are anime nerds. But I don't know, the cool thing, anime seems to be getting a bit more mainstream, so it's okay to watch it. But it's kind of ironic, we're on the cycling team, we're watching a cycling anime. It wasn't anything bad, like we weren't bullied or anything, but definitely a lot of people didn't understand. Thanks, Sabino. Thanks for the super chat. Donuts. I wish I had a donut to finish this ride with. From Sabino, I'd say definitely a tour of the best banh mi and best pho shop. That's a good idea. The food tours would be really good, I think. Maybe get a city bike and do a food city bike tour. That'd be really cool. Tung would definitely be down for that. From Cameron, understandable, such a huge potential market, and hopefully the COVID-19 mess clears up soon. Yeah, it's kind of a mix of really bad timing and also really good timing, because I guess this is a negative way to think about this, but a lot of travel businesses are really hurting right now, and some are going out of business, so there's definitely going to be some more market share open when the businesses start opening up again. And so it will be good timing in a sense when the travel industry starts getting bigger again. So we are excited to try and take advantage of that market and see what we can build there. And also it's exciting to be part of a growing cycling culture, a growing cycling scene. Just, yeah, a lot of things to look forward to. From Ebenezer. So this is Zwift. Yeah, this game is, maybe I'll make a video in the near future talking about this game more in detail, but it's a really fun way to work out, ride your bike inside, and sort of feel like you're still riding outdoors. Thanks, Shez. That's the quote I was looking for. A wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. Great movie. I don't think Chun-chan has ever seen it. We'll have to try and maybe watch it together. It's weird when we watch movies together though, because we have to watch the movies in Japanese. And it's really weird for me to watch like Western movies dubbed in Japanese, because I'm used to like the English voices, so it's a really strange experience. Alright, we done yet? Almost in the last segment. From Trisha here in California. My friends and I host bike rides during anime conventions so we can cosplay and show our anime jerseys. That's awesome. I do see a lot of people here, some cosplayers as well, riding their like Yowamushi Pedal cycling gear and taking photos at our local, one of the big parks here. A lot of cosplayers go there for their photos. Unfortunately, I don't think they're doing that right now with everything going on, but I'd love to go back and show you guys. Smokey, I took a shower, and now it's your turn. Yeah, Chun-chan's gonna force me to take a shower right after this. She doesn't want no stank in the apartment. From Johnny D, have you seen any good bike brands in Vietnam, such as Giant, Trek, Specialized? I am trying to do a bit more research on this right now to see what are the big brands, but for sure Trek and Giant seem to have a presence. I'm not sure so much about Specialized, but yeah, this is still something that's new to me, so if anyone knows more detail about this, definitely send me a comment. I'd love to learn more about what bikes are more popular nationally in Vietnam. I think there's a lot more sort of OEM Chinese kind of brands, just because they're cheaper. But as far as the big brands go, for sure, Giant and Trek seem to be over there at least. I know Vietnam has a distributor, or BMC has a distributor over in Vietnam, but only I think one location in the south, so still pretty small. It's still a relatively new market. From Red Rhino, did you wash the mountain bikes after that ride? We dusted them off a little bit before we brought them in the apartment, but we haven't officially washed them yet. You guys know we're horrible with bike maintenance. From Kevin, did your friend Sayaka ever buy her Bianchi bicycle or find a boyfriend? She never got the bike. I've pressured her about it a lot. I'm not sure if she has a boyfriend right now. I'll have to give her a call one of these days and see how she's doing. Haven't really talked to her since the lockdown. Almost to the top. Are we gonna get the wheels? So just under 70 minutes today. What are we gonna get? Let's go, wheels. Come on. We've already got the helmet and the gloves. So we got the helmet again. I guess that gives you experience points instead. Oh, thanks, Johnny D. Thanks for the super chat. My workplace is resuming operation now. While following safety guidelines, I've been working part-time at home for a month since then. So hope things all go well with starting up the work there again. A lot of places seem to be opening up again now. And yeah, I just hope you guys all stay safe and your companies have some good safety precautions. I'm going to stop here really quick because I did get some messages that people would like to join for the way down. So I'll stop for just 1 minute here and give you guys enough time to join. If you want to join for the downhill, feel free to do so. But yeah, this lockdown is affecting a lot of people with their work. It was really weird timing for us because we quit our jobs right before the lockdown started. Actually, I felt like it was kind of good timing because I felt a lot safer just staying at home. My company wasn't really doing anything to combat the virus or taking any preparations in case it spread or anything. And we had people traveling all over Japan for sales work and stuff. So some companies seem to be doing a really good job at adapting and creating safety procedures, whereas other companies are just sort of ignoring it and just hoping it won't affect them. But anyway, yeah, hope it goes good with you, John. From JRK, you have more people to talk to while riding in Zwift than riding on actual roads. That's true. Yeah, sometimes actually a lot of times when I ride, I just ride by myself, especially now. So it can get a little bit lonely, and these Zwift rides are really cool because I can just chat with you guys while riding along. Dirty Tesla, welcome. You got to get your spin bike, bro, so you can join for these rides. All right, I think that's enough time for people to join for the downhill. I'm going to get back on the bike. Do I actually need to be stopped for people to join in on the ride? Could someone let me know in the comments? I'm not sure on the actual rules for how this works. But hopefully this was enough time for you guys to join the ride. 63 watching, but only 35 thumbs up. Yeah, guys, you gotta smash the like button. I gotta make some more comments about that in the next videos, I guess. Make sure to like the video. From Shez, I've gotten the wheels. I think I got a helmet last time and planning on doing it for the Everesting. I think it's 8.5 times up for the Everest. Yeah, the Everesting challenge is really popular now. I haven't looked at or calculated the actual distance, but if that's right, 8.5 times up here, that's pretty intense because it's at least an hour for one way up. So that's at least like a 9-hour ride. That's pretty intense. So mad props to everyone doing those Everesting challenges. Here we go, we get the nighttime scenery here again. Even though it's morning here in Japan. Thanks, Thelonious. And from James, you do not need to stop. People will join wherever you are. Okay, that's good to know. From Red Rhino, if the uptime was an hour, how long will the downhill take? I didn't even count for that because yeah, you have to go down each time. I guess each downhill will take at least like what, 10 minutes? Let me change the view again here. Here you go, we got our downhill view on. From JR, you don't have to be stopped for people to join, but it's easier for the people joining. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, so these are going to be the last few minutes of this live stream. If anybody had any other questions you wanted to ask, feel free to ask now before we finish, but it's almost time for me to finish this ride, get some breakfast, and take a shower. From JH, what's your fastest speed in real life? I don't remember exactly, but it was something about that. It was about 70 miles an hour. So I guess that is about 100 kilometers an hour. I think I get asked this like at every Alp Du Zwift live stream. And that was from riding Mount Diablo in California. From Johnny D, it's been suffocating to wear a mask while biking. It's easier in cooler weather. I find that it's a lot more painful when it's warmer weather or when I'm trying to talk. So I found that the easiest way to deal with it is maybe just slow down your pace a little bit so you don't have to breathe as hard. Unfortunately, that's really all you can do. You can get used to it to a certain extent, but yeah, it's not always the most comfortable thing, especially as the weather gets a little bit warmer. So let's also take a quick look at, see where we are on our Zwift bike challenge, or the Tron bike challenge. Still got a long way to go. We're still only 39%. So it seems like we're gonna have to do quite a few of these Alp Du Zwift challenges before we get this bike. And I haven't bought anything on the garage recently. I think I just got a new jersey from leveling up. Yeah, I just unlocked the Garmin jersey. I don't really like any of the jerseys we've got so far that much. It'd be really cool if we could get our Tubal Cruise jersey on here. This one's pretty cool. It's 15 Zwift. But this one I think is pretty cool, the Digi Camo too. It's alright. So for now we'll stick with this jersey. From JH, over 80k, it gets really scary. Yeah, I never want to do that again. It was one of the most scary experiences I've ever had riding a bike, and the funny thing was I was getting dropped going at that speed, so the guy who was leading the descent was going even faster. But yeah, never again. I don't think I'll be doing that. From JRK, not sure where the like button is on the iPad. Yeah, I'm not sure. Sometimes those tablet apps can be a bit confusing to use. Actually, I've got an iPad myself now. I've been trying to switch it to be my regular computing device lately. I'm seeing if I can switch all of my computing work to doing entirely on the iPad. It's been a challenge. I've been a Windows guy for a long time, and I've been mentioning this a little bit in the recent videos where we're thinking to switch over to Apple for our design work moving forward, just for like the video editing stuff. It's a lot easier working with the Apple iOS software. So for me, a long-time Windows guy, switching to iOS it's pretty scary, but we're giving it a try. We're seeing how it goes. From Red Rhino, thank you for all the answers. Please continue the longer rides with the chest cam, and no need to fill out the whole video with talking. Great to hear. I'm glad you guys like the longer videos. We'll be making a lot of these moving forward, both here in Japan and when we travel to Vietnam and any other places. It seems to be a really nice format, and I'm glad you guys like it. From Stefan, why can't I see myself on the stream and Zwift? I'm not sure. Were you able to join in correctly? Are you seeing me on your screen? I'm still not used to these meetup features on here. I gotta get some more practice on here to make sure this all works right. Thanks, Bike Lanes. Thanks for joining. For Johnny D, what software do you use? For the longest time, for the first few years on the channel, we used Adobe Premiere, but we're moving away from that because you need a really heavy-duty laptop to process those videos, and it just destroys the laptop, and the program itself is really expensive. So we switched to LumaFusion on the iPad Pro, and it is ridiculous. It exports videos so fast. It's really easy to edit with, but it does require you to be on a mobile iOS device. So that's why we're switching to the iPad Pro, and I don't want to have to carry the iPad Pro and like a laptop, so we're trying to limit down to just the iPad Pro if we can. It's a little tricky. It's great for video editing, it's great for photo editing, and it's fine for basic browser stuff and email. The tricky part is I also do some programming work, so I have to figure out how to do the programming work comfortably on the iPad as well. But for now, I really like the iPad Pro. I like the direction it's going. It's got the mouse support, keyboard support now. And so I am excited to keep seeing that develop further, so it becomes more of a all-in-one kind of device. But yeah, big investment for us. It's a big risk. But with all the traveling we're going to be doing, we really need something that's more mobile and transportable. For example, we can't buy like a huge desktop computer editing setup and then move locations every other month or so in Vietnam. So for now, we need a mobile setup, and the iPad Pro and iPhone combo seems to be one of the best for video editing anyway. Thanks for joining, Smoky Pot. Stay safe. And Shez, you're further ahead than I am, 58%. This Tron bike, the people who have it, geez, and I know a lot of people have had it for a long time, but that is a crazy amount of climbing. Thanks, Aiton. So I guess you got to close or minimize the live chat window, and you can see the like button. Yeah, sorry, Stefan, not sure why, but we should be showing up both here on the live stream together. I'm not sure why it wouldn't show you. Alright, looks like we just exited out of the Alp Du Zwift area. Thanks for joining, guys, on the Alp Du Zwift challenge round number 3. No wheels this time, so that means we're going to be doing this again in the near future. I'll post the next stream schedule on our Facebook page and our Patreon page as well coming up, so you can see when our next stream is. Thanks everyone for joining today. Thanks everyone for the super chats, and stay safe out there. It's time for me to hop in the shower, get started with the day, and good night to everyone who's going to bed over there on the western side of the world. That's going to be it for today's stream. Thanks for joining, guys. We'll see you in the next video.